even though I've always said Tunza is private and, we're not in the business of really trying to change the landscape of hockey in Kenya, even though pressure is there for us to do it. I also, it's a far-fetched idea, but I felt that if Tunza really wanted to impact some change in the way hockey is taking shape in this country, was to involve the people are really at the bottom of the barrel, and these are the high school coaches. No one reaches to them. They don't have access to all this knowledge and access to clinics and those high-level clinics that FIH or the association conducts in the country. And yet, the players who go into the clubs come from high school, and they're coming from high school with these bad skills and bad habits. They stream into the clubs, and then eventually they end up in the national team. We talk about special teams. When I say special teams, does anyone know what I mean? Special teams are those teams that, not your normal teams. Not normal, abnormal teams, yes.
I also want to try, I don't know, maybe forwards is a special team.
No. Special teams are the teams that do a certain thing in the game as a group and not all of them. For example, short corner is a special team. Okay, that's fine. I'll take that because it's inserter. Alright, where does your girl okay, where do your kids push the ball? Yeah? Which is your favorite one? Where do you put it? Here. Here. Okay. What do you call this position? This is a D-line too. What do you call this position, guys? Come on. It's in relation to the top. Huh? Left, top, left. One. Huh? Left. Thank you. Left. So there's a reason why I gave you those names. Because when you're trading your corners, I don't want you to say, Liz, give Liz. So they ask you, where's Liz? And then they give Liz the ball. I want you guys to learn the names. Why? Because when you have 5 or 6 or 7 corners, you need to have names for them. You can say London, and they know where London is going. Whoever is inserting the ball knows what London is. The opponent doesn't know. You can say rice. You can say 1, 2, 3. But if you say 1 or 2 or 3, after 4 or 5 corners, the opponent will know. If Mirog is meeting and Dingo, I know it's girls, and they know each other a lot. If they come to regionals, then you don't want to use what you normally use there in the county. You want to use something different. So I always use 3 numbers, and I tell the girls, today, the corner is the middle number. So they know, if I say 367, they know the corner is 6. If I say 712, they know the corner is 1. So someone is like, that coach is, she just keeps calling numbers. But the players know it's the middle number. Second. Left. That's why I want you to know it's a left. So you're slipping to the left. So let's say this is my corner number 2. So it's insider to top, to slip left. Like that, slip right. Know the names, do it at practice so it's not strange at the game.
Happy ball potential. And you use your spectators. Sawa. Judy, songa wide kidogo. Toka nje ya sako. Nje. Ukikaribia choke ref anaweza kunyang'anya na sasa hiyo ishaingia. So away from that circle kabisa. Unataka kumit ball unaanzia kushikia ndani. So stay one step up. Mimi naona una move. Stay one step nje ndio kuja. 1 2 unafika na ball. Action moja.
After your players have mastered the corners, give them the freedom to change their minds, to use their intelligence.
So that is the reason why you talk about options. Those options are great, and those names are making. In fact, the names are in those hurdling there. Sometimes you just go to the hurdle and say, "Oh, anything, you're my buddy." Then you go back there. The opponents are so confused. What are they discussing? What are they going to do?
When there's a corner, the captain or the one inside it, you look at the coach, you call it the huddle. They need to huddle.
There's one.
What do you do first? Huddle for 2 seconds. The coach called number 6. You know it's coming to you. Just so they confirm. I see a lot of girls, they don't know where the ball is going. Yeah, and I push to. And the block. Sometimes corners are hard to come by. That's the only chance you have. I want you to decide who's inserting the ball, who's stopping the ball. We do it right here. Who's inserting the ball, who's stopping the ball, who's taking the shot, who's running in. And I want who's the coach. One of you has to be the coach. You stand far, you will call it, then we will discuss, and then the coach will tell me if that is the corner that they called. She called. Execution. Perfect example. Player to a bad or an injury. You have to change. You can't be like, oh, our play is outside.
Oh, give it Paula, it's Paula. When the Paula is on red card or green card, they'll still call it Paula, and the kids get so much confused.
And Tijuana tied 2 points, tied, and then Tijuana last.
Okay. We're back here. Very quick. We want to look. Okay. Basically.
No, groups of schools zilikuwa pale. Yes, yeah. Group of school ndio last. Tumefanya shughuli hapa. They didn't have their documents.
Wait, we have 4 schools, right? Yeah. So which is the group of schools? It was the first. Those were the first. No, the one she did.
One of the.
I'm saying was the call.
Yes.
Oh, I call. Okay, you're the group of schools.
The group of schools for what?
Then we have the keeper. Here, keepers, the national team coach will tell us how the keeper sets up.
Basic rule number 1, all keepers are unique. The way I play is not the way they is played. So, if the basic rule is take 2 steps off the line.
2 steps off the line.
2 steps off the line. It is 1, 2, and wait.
Now, this is all about formations. We all have different formations when we play different teams. And I'm not going to tell you which formation to play. It is for you to decide which formation do you want to use. It may not be very clear, but these are my 11 players. Now, suppose number 11 has the ball. Where is our number 7? Still here? In the circle? Somewhere. What about number 2? Anyway, there's no perfect way in which we are supposed to move as a team.
3-4-3. You categorize them different. Perfect. The formation that the opponent has, let's shoot them very fast. The strength of the players. The strength of your players or the opponents. Strength of your players. Excellent. Those are some of the ideas that help us to spend. Somebody else there, what influence the system you're using? Yes, ma'am?
Ball position.
Ball possession. You want to send the ball more compared to somebody else? Huh? Fitness level of your players. What does this mean in our drawing that we did earlier on? We have the defense, and we have the midfield, and we have the attack line. So what simply this means is having three. For example, the first one, we have three in the defense most of the time. And we have one with a sweeper, the sweeper does, and we have three in the midfield, and again three in the attack. How do you want us to learn so that we make sure that the team understands this? You definitely have to use the board when you were taught earlier on how to use the board. They do understand that the plan that you have. And give the chance, discuss with the student to understand what you mean by that system of play. Is that okay?
I was going to give you a project from the systems that was discussed by Nixon, but we'll take a break first. Then we have tea, and then I'll give you that, and then we'll wrap up the day. What system will you use from what Coach Nixon gave us to play your game? So you have what, 5 minutes to discuss, 5 to 10, and then you as a group will come and present. You will draw the field, place the players in excess, the opponents, and explain to us why you put those players there. Got it? Yes. I'm giving points also for drawing. Yay! Wow.
Someone artist.
That's how it feels. Okay. Guys, we have to listen to this team.
We've been given 10 players comprising of 5 good defenders, 3 weak forwards, and the team has 2 new beginners.
Team Blazers, we have 11 players. We have 4 strong midfielders, 2 weak in defense, 2 weak forwards, 2 new players, and 1 great goalkeeper.
So in this game we'll play a defensive game. Our formation will be 3-4-3. Of the 5 good defenders, 3 of them will maintain the defense. Then we'll have the remaining 2 good defenders in the midfield. They will be joined by 1 weak forward and 1 new beginner. Then in the attack, we'll have the remaining 2 weak forwards and 1 beginner to give us a 3-4-3. We'll be looking for a draw.
We are going for the 3-5-2.
When I came to Kenya, I attended these high school competitions. And there I met coaches who've heard about me or heard about what Tunza is doing. And they were asking, if we can go to their schools and help with their program. But how can we split ourselves to go to all these schools? And so the idea even got more reinforced that we should have a collective coaches education program or a coaching, seminar, quite often, at least with just the schools that our kids are going to.
Wazito, we encourage everyone to participate. So right now, this is our pitch. We have a very strong goalkeeper. So this is the scenario. One strong goalkeeper, Kenya quality. Then we have 3 strong midfielders, 3 weak defense. So the defense is very weak. And then we have 4 strong forwards.
Our goal is a very slow goalkeeper, so we can't take the risk. So what our team decided to do was to pack the midfield. And since we don't have any midfielder, we only have 2 new midfielders. When you're tuna train, we are going to be little on where to put this other 4th defender.
Okay.
So we are going to have one of our midfield beginner hapa.
Support the weak players for me. Support the weak players.
So these ones are strong. So the wings are okay. We want to make the center very strong. So what we'll do, instead of having the 4 here, we are going to bring one of the forwards down. Yeah? He's also very strong. So he's actually compensating for the midfield.
So where exactly is it?
The forward will be along this line, but also trying to play down to the midfield. So he's playing along this area.
We have our strong goalie, of course. Then we have 3 defenders.
Are they strong or weak?
They are both weak.
So you circle.
Our new player also happens to be very good.
Just
No team knows how he plays, so he has a lot of luck.
Yes.
so how do you use the weak players who are now why don't you turn one of the weak defenders to go up and you bring one strong? Because you can switch players. If you have a weak defender, I can put that defender high up to score. Finish, yeah. No, it's necessary. Don't change. I'm okay with it.
So, with the weak and the new players, you can see the weak and the new player here, we have them. And that means even the opponent doesn't know how they play.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good idea. So you just bang the ball to them, they might score.
There is a high chance. And you can see even from our defending, we also have a strong zone here of defense.
I have a question. My first question is, in this your system, you've only included 10 players. How many players do you have in total?
Yeah, there were no goalie. There was no goalkeeper.
No goalkeeper.
No goalkeeper.
The bus left the goalkeeper.
And the substitutes, are they part of your team?
I didn't give.
You only have 10 players.
Perfect, thank you.
Either midfield 2 and 3 to move to congest the middle. The far wide apart.
Because this
We are defending, remember.
These guys are in the state now.
We are defending, remember.
You have to have a seat. There are things going on. Yeah. All right, good job. Thank you. They're rushing to come out of there. All right, go.
What's the reason why you put the new player in the position where you put it as opposed to the weak player?
The reason is we are taking advantage of numbers. You see, our midfield is very strong, and then we'll go full press. We want short corner, we want goals. The moment we score, we change totally the formation. And you can clearly see this strong midfielder the moment we lose possession, they'll be falling to support the weaker player, and the same case applies on this side.
I like that.
Suppose the opponent is just lifting the ball into your 25 behind the 2 strong midfielders. It's not a full press anymore. You are under pressure here. You have to defend.
We have to
The goal is a good goal.
Very good goal. Kenya won.
But then you're not going to attack.
It is so simple.
Yeah.
We have our weakest player, but they are good in basics.
Okay.
Receive ball, toa nje, the support is coming.
And another thing, most of the time new players are people that you don't know how they are going to play. So there is a higher chance, number one, if you are talking of the looping, we have a higher chance of, in case our strong midfielders come to defend this side, we don't know the positioning of this new player, which can also be used as a counter-attack, in case of a counter-attack.
I like that you guys got yourself out of a hole. It's fun, it's good.
The time is up.
Thank you, good job.
We have 3 strong midfielders.
Can you make them bigger? Because
No,
Yeah,
I'm coming there. Relax.
excuse, I need to ask a question before we proceed. How many players do you have?
We have
Remember, when we talked about the board, we said as simple and clear. So I'm your team player. So I don't know which is me. The arrow up, the arrow down, or the F.
Okay, let me explain.
No, you've explained, but now I don't know where the players are.
It's okay. The dots we started
Okay. This is a player, 1, 2, 3.
No.
They rubbed that off, I
Oh,
told you.
3, 4.
This one was here.
4. What is this?
Brought them down.
How many players do you have?
11. You have a now position, alafu the arrow shows the new position. Like it's confusing.
Just to be clear, we started with the dots because we can't have a rub on board. So we are using one board to explain 2 things.
Movement.
Yeah.
So we are trying to show you movement. So the dots we used was to see the first placement we had. Then the arrows we are using to see now the final placement.
From the statistic, I can see you have 9 strong players. Why do you go for defense?
What we've done, we've actually just dropped down one midfielder to help this to
To
reinforce.
reinforce the weak defense.
What is
But
your
that
intention?
means you're packing the defense wide, and you have 9 strong players.
What is your intention?
Or rather, kindly share with us your objective.
We are trying to balance.
With this,
You have 9 strong players.
you have 9 strong players.
You need to attack.
So we can sacrifice one to come down and fill up that.
Be a feeder.
Yeah.
Then you are ready. Is when now come back here, come back. No, don't do that. You just no.
With such a strong team, I wouldn't go for that formation.
Yani makofi wazito.
Initially, we thought we could go to the schools and bring these coaches up to speed, but we are a thin staff, and it's more expensive than. It's just easier to have brought them together collectively and coach them as a whole. So we sent verbal invitations or ideas. We shared the ideas with some of the coaches that are already in the schools that our kids are, and asked them if this is something that they would like, and the response was very positive.
They are living in their pool, and it's like they want to force a draw.
No, we are not supposed we are introducing all new players.
But you're also seeing a win because of the strong forward. There is a strong forward here.
Besides me are never played. Remember, it's not easy for me to pass the ball to them. That means most of the time they'll be demoralized in the game.
The opponents will only be having opportunities of placing the balls on the flanks, which is not all that dangerous to our team. And that is why if you look at the central defense here, there is a central defender here, another central defender here. This one here links with this and puts it to a strong forward here. This strong forward is also going to link with this strong forward. That is why we decided for that.
Let's say I'm your strong forward. So as I am advancing, on my left there is never played. On my right there is never played. How sufficient am I to release that ball? I'll end up playing alone or with only one team.
We had 2 strong forwards and 4 defenders who are actually also strong. So we resorted to bringing one of the strong forwards to the midfield so that that person, this player here, can actually support the defense, bearing in mind that we have a slow goalkeeper. So this one here will be pushing forward and at the same time helping in the defense.
Who's feeding this strong player? Who's feeding?
And the defender huyu hapa, if wanaenda attacking, atakuja hapa katikati au wafikirie hapa mbele. Tukienda defense, huyu anarudi, and in also attacking, the two can help our new forward that has never played, but tunamjaribu.
bearing in mind also that we were still topping the pool, and it was
And then Blazers, you are good, but your problem is what we just talked about, the goalies. The only thing that saves you is this strong defender. They have to properly, but this one's, you don't just trust that you're a goalkeeper, it's a team game. Wasito, Wasito, I'm retracting, I think there's a kind of going forward. Presentation is not good, Wasito, but you had a lot of explaining to do that you did, which made some sense. The other one I gave Blazers what 4. I don't give up, just 4. I gave 3, 4. I gave Wasito 2. And then I gave Bola 3. Blazers win again.
That's an excellent performance from everyone, I think so. Yes, we have some keys to share as well.